Hey there, Aries. Welcome to a reading for the week of September 13th. This week we are going to jump right in here, Aries, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. Right off the bat, I do feel that this reading is asking you to focus on finishing something up here. You have this Smoke and Mirrors card, this Focus card, and an Unfinished Symphony card. I just get the feeling, to me, it doesn't, the Smoke and Mirrors card, let's just say this, it can represent lying, cheating, stealing, kind of like, not seeing things clearly. I feel like it's more just like distractions, but like not a big deal. I feel like it's more saying that you could be working towards specific goals or specific things this week, and I feel that there could be a lot of distractions going on around you, but I feel like they are purely distractions. I feel like this reading is saying, don't give in to the distracting energy. Just focus on your work, Eight of Pentacles, and you will be very successful. So I know it's like simple advice, but I would just say focus this week, and I feel you'll be very successful. It's actually a very nice reading for you here, Aries. You do have this Smoke and Mirrors card, but again, I just feel like it's just talking about like excess details and things like that. I just say, like, I've seen it happen to multiple people where it's like, if you're like, let's say you're doing something where you are growing, it's like sometimes people around us, it's like they don't want to lose us, so they'll do things maybe to prevent our growth. I don't think people do this necessarily to be, bad or to be toxic, but I've just seen it happen, right? And this just says make sure to establish boundaries is what I'm getting here, especially with some of these other cards. Make sure that you don't allow people to hold you back. It's like I said, I've heard too many stories where it's like, I've done readings for people in the past where it's like they've started to become successful in business. Then all of a sudden their mother or their friend, has like all these medical issues and like all these things come up. And it's kind of like a control thing. To me, it can be a little toxic as well, depending on the situation. And I'm not saying you shouldn't care for people if they have medical issues or anything like that, but I do feel that sometimes that people throw up these distractions because they're afraid that they're going to lose us. And I get that feeling for you here, Aries. I would just be careful. You have the sun, you have the lovers, you have the moon. This is not the truth, right? The sun says you know the truth. You see right through whatever the situation is. So I feel like you need to be careful here. I don't think there's anything crazy. Again, I don't think this is something super toxic going on around you or anything, but again, if you have a person in your life who always is having issues, I always tell people, be careful. We all have that one family member that, has issues or problems all the time. And it's usually like the boy who cried wolf, right? So I'm getting those feelings here. I'm getting like the whole boy who cried wolf type of situation here. And I would just pay attention with the sun. Other than that, I do feel this could be love that's coming in for you here. These two are in perfect balance, and it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to, but masculine, feminine energy here, they are in perfect balance. And you have the sun and the moon. So I feel like you could be attracting someone who is in perfect balance. The sun actually represents a combination of the sun and the moon energy. The sun has straight rays and it has squiggly rays. It represents a combination of both energies here. So I do feel like there is like a lot of happiness coming in for you, especially in love. Could be a Gemini or someone who has Gemini in their chart here, Aries. But let's see where this is going for you, Aries. You have the Eight of Wands. I definitely feel like there could be communication coming in for you here, especially if you're looking for love. You have with the lovers, you have the Three of Pentacles. I would just let someone put the work in as well. With the Smoke and Mirrors thing, again, I wouldn't trust someone's words necessarily. I would trust their actions. As I've said before, to me, between now and the end of 2025, I wouldn't trust anyone's words, including mine. I tell people all the time, don't listen to me. I always get, funny little troll comments that are always like, why should anyone listen to him? I always respond to those people and I say, they shouldn't listen to me, is what I always say. You should do your own research and, go out and experience things. You should be taking tarot as like a tiny little sprinkling on the top of ice cream. It's like, your life is ice cream. Tarot should be like little sprinkles on top, right? Barely anything. So that's what I'll say here. But what I would say is I would, the Three of Pentacles, it's like there is an element of truth. These three pentacles exist. This is a fire triangle. There's a water triangle right underneath the fire triangle on the Three of Pentacles. The water triangle says there's something else. There is more that could be created in a situation, but it doesn't exist. It needs to be brought down to earth. So for a lot of you, it maybe is a good week for you to like focus on like kind of grounding something in reality, especially if there are things that don't have structure, in your life, or maybe there's something that could be more secure in your life as well. It's like maybe you have a love life, but maybe it could be made more secure. Maybe there could be more time investment. Maybe there could be more, maybe you could let the person move in, or you move in with them. There could be more of a commitment. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you examples here. So it's like something here needs more structure. Same thing with business. It's like sometimes I think in business, maybe we rely on one thing too much, like YouTube, right? Which, could disappear tomorrow. It probably won't happen, but it could. So I feel for some of you, it's like almost like you're making something more secure by diversifying. With the moon, you have the Two of Wands here. Yeah, I always get a message for you here, Aries. Doesn't really surprise me. It wouldn't really surprise me. If a lot of you were moving away from where you grew up, it wouldn't surprise me if you were having one of those experiences in your life in the near future. It's a major part of your astrology that a lot of you could just be spreading your little wings and, jumping out of the nest. So that wouldn't surprise me. Next, you have the focus card. Again, I would stay very focused at this time. I would be careful of anything extreme here, is what I'm getting. It's like if someone has some sort of extreme disaster, story, emergency, probably not true. I would get the details, right? I'm not saying like I said earlier, I'm not saying don't take care of your family. I'm not saying don't take care of your friends, but I would just get the details first, because it would suck to be, like, if you're really focused, if you're putting a lot of work into something here, like a project, and then, someone freaks out and says you have to go meet him at the hospital, or I don't know, I have these weird stories popping into my head. I would just make sure to get the details. Probably not true. For others, again, I feel like there could be situations in your life where maybe you have people in your life who can't help themselves. I've done a ton of readings as well for people who have a child who is an adult now who always has issues. They're always bailing them out. And I always say, it's like, yeah, it's your child. You of course, I totally understand wanting to help them, but at the same time, if they're crippling you in your, by helping them, technically you're crippling them. You're not forcing them to learn. So I kind of get like one of those weird situations for some of you where you could be dealing with like a family member or something like that. I don't know, it's a dominant energy if you can't tell, because it's all I've been talking about, Aries, but where you could have a person in your life who always needs help, but always helping them isn't truly helping them. It's probably crippling them, because it's like they're never learning to help themselves. You have the Three of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Knight of Pentacles here. The Judgment card, it's like you're being called here. I am getting second chance vibes here. I feel like you're breathing new life into something here. Remember what I was saying about the Three of Pentacles? It's kind of like a lot of work has already been done, right? But just needs like a little bit more. I get that feeling here. Judgment can represent resurrecting an old idea. It can represent taking something that didn't work out in the past. Three of Swords, there was a heartbreak here. And again, I don't feel like this is love. It could be like a business idea or a job idea. And I feel like you're breathing new life into it. The Knight of Pentacles definitely represents needing to take action. He's not taking action. There is a barren field behind him, and he hasn't, done any work to grow anything in that field. But if he put the work in, he would probably be very successful. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is like material success on the horizon. So I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you, especially if you're like breathing new life into an old idea. But let's see where this is going, Aries. With the Three of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Definitely trust your intuition here. I feel like there's a new opportunity. The High Priestess is a card of potential, but it's just potential. So again, if you're thinking about, I do get that here, where it's like some of you, maybe you worked on a business in the past, or a project, or a personal project, or maybe you wanted to become something when you were older. It's almost like you're getting another chance to do it, but it's just potential with the High Priestess. Again, High Priestess, we have to take action. It says the sky's the limit. Actually, more. We can accomplish more than we ever thought possible with the High Priestess, but again, we have to take action and make it happen. With the Judgment card, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, like new opportunities are kind of like opening up for you here. I always tell people, it's like, that's what we're entering into this time of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus for a little while now, for like a couple years, but it's like we're really getting into the energy now. And what I would say is, like, you thought the internet was crazy when the internet came out, right? There's going to be more crazy things. It's like the internet, took away. I think about things like books, It's like the internet took away the need to go through a gatekeeper that is a publisher. So it's like if you wanted to publish a book, now you can just publish a book on the internet. You can publish it on Kindle, and you can become a published author. Many people have, done that and become famous authors. I'm not saying that's what you're going to do, but I feel like that's what's happening for you. It's almost like there have been gatekeepers in your life that maybe have prevented you from being successful at something, right? It's almost like Uranus and Taurus could be the thing that is opening up the world to you here, Aries. Kind of a weird feeling that I get in your reading, but I feel for some of you, it's like you're finally finding a way to do something that you've been trying to do. You're pushing something forward here. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Four Wands, freedom. Four Wands is a card of freedom, celebration. It's also a card of completion as well. It's like a card of accomplishment. To me, it always looks like a finish line up there. So I do feel some of you could be accomplishing something pretty great here. And look at this. You have this unfinished symphony card. Like I said, I can't get over the fact that I feel a lot of you are kind of accomplishing something you've been trying to accomplish for a very long period of time. But again, there have been like roadblocks and gatekeepers and, all sorts of things getting in the way. So it's like now I feel things are getting out of the way. And you're going to be able to finish something that you've been hoping to finish or that you've been hoping to have a second chance at. And I really feel that for a lot of you. For others, I do feel like you could be wrapping something up in a relationship here. You could be taking it to the next level, like I said earlier, where it's like you're bringing something that is established down to earth. It's becoming more of a reality. I definitely get that feeling for you. So that's very exciting. If you're, for some of you, I'm wondering if this is like a long distance thing. It has that feeling to me where it's real, but there's some sort of gap, if that makes sense. So some of you, it's like somebody could be moving or traveling to see you, or you're doing something to like solidify a connection that you're in. For others, it could be the opposite. You could just be ending a relationship and finally getting out of it. So take it how it resonates. You have the Four of Cups, the Temperance card, and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're learning how to get more out of something here as well, is what I'm getting. I like this for you, Aries. Damn. You have the Eight of Pentacles. He's very focused with this focus card. The Eight of Pentacles, he's working on one thing. He's working on creating pentacles. I'm not saying you're creating money. You could be. For sure in this reading, really good money reading, I would say, especially if you're working on a project or business or a personal project. But you could just be focusing on anything. He is just working on one thing. He could be working on his health, but he's just only focusing on that, right? So I feel that your focus is going to be very important. And I feel like focusing on one thing at a time is going to lead to the most success. But I feel like you're learning how to get more out of a situation. That's what I keep getting here. It kind of reminds me, again, Uranus and Taurus. What I would say here, Aries, is that with Uranus and Taurus, I feel like a lot of people are going to have like online businesses, but it's probably not going to look like what most online businesses look like today. It's going to probably be a little bit different, but there are going to be multiple ways, I think, for people to like earn a good living online by sharing information, by just being entertaining, by sharing their talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. And what I would say here is it's like you're finding multiple ways of doing that here. And I feel like you're kind of like stretching something out as well with the Temperance card. It's a good feeling, though. I like it. I feel like you're creating like a lot of abundance, so that's nice. With the Four of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles, focusing on what's important. Sometimes I look at this card and I say, he's only giving to one person over here and he's ignoring this person over here. Sometimes I feel like it's a good thing because this person has something in their back pocket. That's like a saying, having something in your back pocket. It's like they're asking for something, but it's like they have some hidden motives, right? But for you, I feel like it's saying make sure you're giving to the right situations. Make sure you're giving to things that return energy to you. With the Temperance card, you have the Seven of Wands, boundaries. Like we were talking about this entire time, seems to be a major theme for you where you could be dealing with a person who you shouldn't be giving your time, effort, and energy to. And it doesn't mean that you can't help people, but maybe there's a person who's just an energy vampire. It's like, it's hard. I totally agree, especially if it's like a family member or something like that. It's hard to say no. It's hard to not help someone who's in need, but it's like at the same time, are you really helping someone if they can't help themselves? So the answer is probably not, right? So I would definitely be careful there. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Lovers. Definitely love. as well. If you want love, there could be like an earth sign or a Gemini I'm getting here coming in for you. Could also be a Pisces. The moon, the high priestess. To me, 2 Pisces cards. To me, to any court card or to any card of a sign could definitely represent that sign coming in. To me, that's like double confirmation. So it could be a Pisces coming in for some of you. It could be any sign, but I do feel there's love coming in. The Eight of Pentacles is obvious. I always remind people, it's like the Eight of Pentacles is pretty straightforward as far as love is concerned. It's like you will be meeting a person who puts the work in. So if they don't put the work in, then kick them to the curb. If they put the work in, then good. Keep going. Plain and simple. But this looks pretty good. So thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.